Hi there. Whoa, wrong pipe. Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Trying to choke myself before I start talking in the morning. Today is day 15 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Are you still with me? I hope so. Or if you're just joining me, welcome. Today we're talking about the SOAP framework, step 2 of the SOAP framework, which stands for options. Options for what, you may be asking if you're just joining us today. But if you were here yesterday, you know that yesterday we looked at a situation, our challenge that we're having in our life, and we said, okay, what is the current situation? And we wrote it down. Usually a paragraph or some bullet points, but somehow we captured it and wrote it down. Then took a deep breath and we said, okay, but what do I want my desired situation to be? Because we have to know what we want in order to move from where we are in a situation that we don't want, or we're telling ourselves a story that we don't want, so that we can move toward what it is that we do want. If you just mire in what you don't want, guess what? You just keep getting more and more and more of it. It might show up in different ways, but if you're struggling with something in one area of your life, it can very easily impact other areas of your life. Sometimes it just feels like everything's falling apart because something goes wrong, and instead of dealing with it in a positive way or just dealing with it at all, we let it just ruminate, and our thoughts and our beliefs focus in on that, which creates more of that in the different areas and aspects of our life. I personally have had that happen to me, not in a good way, where something bad happened, but it just piled on top of other different areas of my life that were absolutely out of control, and I wasn't admitting it to myself. So how do we go about filling the gap that's formed by knowing where we are and where we want to be? Because whenever we identify those 2 points, we don't want to stay where we are. We want to get moving as quickly as we possibly can to the situation that we desire, what we want to have in our life. So, for example, I picked yesterday, I want to be me. I want to be absolutely positively just myself as far as supersizing myself. And I will work on that all year long. Every day this year, I will do that, right? I'll do a little something every day to make that happen, because that's what this year's challenge is all about. I don't know what you picked, but whatever you picked, maybe you've got a financial or a relationship or a physical issue that needs your attention and you just haven't dealt with it. So how do we come up with options? There's lots of different ways. I'm going to share this tool probably the most this year. I call it the 10-3-1 brainstorming tool, where I challenge you to come up with at least 10 possible ways to fill that gap or to begin filling that gap. Very seldom do we just do one thing and go directly from where we are to where we want to be. It happens. It feels like a miracle, but it does happen. So believe that anything is possible. But one of my favorite brainstorming tools stems from the fact that my dad worked at 3M when Post-its were invented. Actually, he spent his whole career. He was a 3M lifer before he passed away, and before he retired. That's where he started out of college, and that's where he spent his entire corporate career. Now, he's one of those people that had businesses on the side, kind of like I modeled from him, and that's how he spent his whole working life. So Post-it notes are, of course, near and dear to our hearts because we were exposed to them immediately before they were even invented and sold in the marketplace. You know, when you work for a company that's developing different products and services, you often get to try those products and services, you and your families. And so I've been using Post-its even before they were on the market and out in the marketplace. And they're one of my favorite things because they're little. You can carry a pack of Post-it notes around in your pocket, right? If you can carry our giant cell phones nowadays, we can carry a pack of Post-it notes. But I like to just keep them with me. I use them to do a lot of different things, like tracking my hydration and making sure I'm getting enough water. I like to use them for things like that. But they're a perfect brainstorming tool because you can put one idea on each Post-it note and then slap it up on the wall or put it somewhere or put it in a notebook. And you can look at all of them and easily go to the next step of our process because you can fit 10 on one page or 10 on a wall. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the 3 and the 2 of this particular tool. 3 and the 1 of this particular tool. But today, all we have to do is brainstorm at least 10 possible ways to fill the gap in your story between where you are and where you want to be. If you have questions about this, if you need help, if you don't know how to brainstorm because you've never brainstormed, which I will say, wow, because they teach that in, I think, almost kindergarten now. They teach brainstorming techniques and tools and problem solving not too much, not enough problem solving and decision making or thinking for yourself, but hopefully more and more as the world switches from the negative to the positive. That's all I've got today. That's what we're doing. In the comments below, share just one of the things that you brainstormed today that could fill the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I will probably share, maybe I'll share my whole list of 10. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I have not done the challenge yet either. So I'm going to do it today too. If I can help you with anything in this, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.